November 1970. A father and his daughters are hiking a familiar trail in Norway's Isdal Valley. The air is cold, the area is quiet, and then they catch the smell of burning. They follow it off the path into a clearing, where they find the body of a woman lying between two rocks at the base of a cliff. The forensic examination at the God Institute in Bergen notes several specific details. Her body exhibits pugilistic stance, her arms raised and fists clenched at her sides, which is the involuntary contraction of muscle tissue caused by extreme heat. Her blood shows clear signs of carbon monoxide from smoke inhalation, and her stomach contains roughly 50 prescription sleeping pills. The toxicology report presents an immediate physical contradiction. 50 sleeping pills is a dose far beyond accidental ingestion, and it is entirely lethal on its own. Yet the carbon monoxide proves she was still breathing when the fire was ignited around her.
Someone does not accidentally swallow 50 pills and then stumble into a fire. Whether she set the blaze herself as the medication took hold, or someone else lit the match while she was incapacitated, the mechanics of her death require deliberate, calculated action. As investigators look closer at the physical evidence, they find a systematic deletion of her identity. Every single manufacturer label on her clothing has been removed, not torn off in a hurry, cut cleanly and meticulously from every garment she is wearing. The concealment is highly practiced. The zipper on one of her boots is filed down to raw metal, destroying the manufacturer stamp. Inside her scorched shoes, the insoles are completely missing, a technique used to strip away size markings and country of origin details. 4 days later, police locate 2 unclaimed suitcases at the Bergen railway station, deposited before her body was found. Inside, they find clothing, different colored wigs, makeup, non-prescription glasses, and foreign currency. But among all those physical possessions, there is an absolute void of personal data. The luggage contains no passport, no travel documents, no identification cards. Even the destination segments on her train tickets have been carefully torn away. A robbery victim or a confused traveler leaves a trail, an overlooked receipt in a pocket, a name tag hidden in a lining. But there were no oversights here. She dismantled her history piece by piece, executing a protocol designed to ensure that if she disappeared, she would stay disappeared. The suitcases do contain one lead, a notepad filled with encrypted writing. In 1970, Norwegian cryptographers decode the personal cipher, revealing columns of dates, initials, and travel itineraries. This map shows the sheer geographic scale of her movements. Investigators map a dense, overlapping route across 9 European countries in months. She navigates this territory using at least 8 aliases, names like Fenella Lorch, Claudia Tielt, and Vera Jarle, presenting forged documents at every border. Witness reports from these stops describe a woman fluent in multiple languages, always speaking with strange, unplaceable accents. She executes a network of quiet, untraceable hotel check-ins, eating alone, changing rooms frequently, and avoiding conversation.
Moving across 9 borders under 8 false names requires significant logistical planning. Her behavior is the hallmark of a covert operative running an active schedule, or someone desperately trying to lose a tail. The investigation hits a wall in 1971. The file is closed. It sits dormant until 2016, when an international coalition of journalists and police reopened the case, applying modern digital forensics to the physical evidence. Scientists extract the exact dimensions of her preserved skull. Using tissue depth markers and anatomical software, they generate a highly accurate, lifelike 3D digital reconstruction of her face. This face is broadcast across Europe. It reaches millions of people through television networks, newspapers, and international police databases, intended to finally jar a public memory or prompt a family member to come forward. Hundreds of tips pour in. None of them result in a confirmed match. Even with a photorealistic face distributed globally, she eludes every official record. With physical records entirely erased, investigators turn to isotope analysis, a technique to bypass missing documentation
and read a person's geographic history directly from their biology. This diagram illustrates exactly how that works. As a child's teeth form, specific minerals from local drinking water and soil are absorbed into the enamel. Those minerals are permanently locked in, creating a localized chemical barcode. The isotope signatures extracted from her teeth are precise. They definitively trace her childhood origins to Central Europe, specifically the border regions between France and Germany. Secondary testing on her bones maps her adult life. The isotopes reflect a recent presence in the Mediterranean, aligning perfectly with the ghost trail she left in hotel registers across southern Europe shortly before she died. Science manages to rebuild her face, track her final weeks, and map the exact soil of her childhood. Yet all of that microscopic precision fails to yield her actual name. Let's look at the data we have accumulated. We have a reconstructed face, a precise childhood geography, a detailed timeline of international movements, and a catalog of her aliases. And yet for over 50 years, absolutely no one has filed a missing persons report. No family has claimed her body. No former colleague has pointed to her photograph and offered a name. Sustaining that level of silence usually requires a mandate. This leaves us with two dominant theories. She was either a Cold War intelligence operative or a smuggler operating within an international criminal network. A deeply isolated civilian could theoretically construct this mystery alone. But a lone actor struggles to account for the multinational logistics, the high-quality forged passports, and the complete absence of a prior civilian record. Disappearing this thoroughly requires institutional support. In an era where modern science can rebuild a face from a skull and read the water of a childhood from a single tooth, the Isdal Woman leaves us with a quiet, uncomfortable truth. Flawless anonymity is still possible, provided the institutions protecting that identity never break their silence.